light burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real.
Woo! Oh!
This is raw real.
Oh, baby, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to rumble here this evening. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights as these drivers get ready to go to battle. Dude Guy 2.0 in the house. What's good, Dude Guy? How are you, brother? How you doing this evening? As he says, hi, new here. Dude Guy, you've been here for a while, brother. You ain't new here. As my boy James Beaver says, wish me luck and hello, James. How are you, Mr. Beavers? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day as each and every one of these drivers are done their qualifying session, so they're getting ready to slide out onto the racetrack here for a quick warm-up session. They're making sure that their cars are absolutely perfect here this evening, trying to make sure that they have their setups absolutely on point as we get ready to battle for 65 laps of racing action here in our A-Main feature event from the beautiful Lucas Oil Speedway's drivers out on the racetrack right now. They're looking to lay down some good laps here, trying to make sure that their cars are perfect and trying to set the stage here for this evening's feature events. You see Josh Peacock, Kyle Surratt, both out there, a pair of the JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports rides jumping out there onto the speedway. We do see Marco's Pace wanting to roll out there onto the track as well, making sure that his Tommy Gun Customs Cocky Floyd Consulting 47 ride is ready to rumble here today. As a lot of drivers, a lot of fast cats out there on the field. We do see Chad Puderbo out there as well, as he's looking to have himself a good run here this evening. Daniel Elkins in the Conkey Floyd Consulting, number 87. He jumps out there onto the Speedway. Here comes T-Jack Tyler Jackson. You also see that beautiful number 42, Ryan. That is the Conkey Floyd Consulting Free Speed Machine. That is Jordan Casey out there on the track, as well as Jeremy Sexton and his Sexton Paint and Body. Tommy Gun Customs, number 2020, Ryan, currently quickest here in this warm-up session. T-Jack back in second. And you see this beautiful JP Designs, number 61, Ryan. Is that P61 of Josh Peacock, currently third quickest out there on the racetrack, followed by a pair of his teammates is the Bulletproof Motorsports. Dirt Track Junkies 91, Ryan, of Tyson Pankow there in fourth. And Kyle Surratt, the Bulletproof Motorsports, number 18, there in fifth. Seth Castle, Jordan Casey, Jeremy Aikens, Jeremy Vaughn, and Daniel Elkins rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. As Marcos Page, Chad Puderbo, Derek Rice making up the top 13. We do see Jonathan Wiley was out there on the track. He's looking to try to roll back out onto the Speedway. Here comes Anthony Thompson as well in the 31. Ryan, is that KR1 Dirty South Speed Shop. Conkey Floyd Consulting, number 31. Ryan jumps out there onto the track as well here. So a good combination of drivers ready to rumble, ready to duke it out here this evening, as we got a big field here. We had a full field of drivers try to qualify for this race. Unfortunately, only 20 drivers, the top 20 in qualifying, will transfer into our A main feature event, and then the drivers that get the provisionals will also transfer in. So we could still see, 25, 30 drivers start this race, but if all of our provisional drivers are inside the top 20 and everyone else outside the top 20 does not have those provisionals, then unfortunately they will not race here this evening and will only start the top 20. It's Cody McDonald. What's good, Cody? Cody coming in, showing the love, dropping that share on the broadcast, coming in, showing the love. Dude Guy also coming in with that like on the stream. I appreciate that, Dude Guy, showing the love here this evening. Cody, are you out there? Cody is in the field, so we will get to see Cody McDonald roll out there again here this evening as well. Great to see Cody jumping back out there. There is that UFO machine of Jonathan Wiley. Wiley in the UFO ride, ready to rumble here in this one. Always looking good out there on the racetrack as the Brooks Auto Care number UFO. Ready to rumble here today, ready to try to put that car up and into victory lane, as he's looking to be an alien here himself on the dirt track here this evening. As Jeremy Sexton right now still quickest here in this warm-up session, but it's really going to come down to who can manage the tires, who can manage the pace out there on the racetrack. As Tim Taylor says, damn, iRacing update still has my wheel totally jacked up. Oh no, Timmy! Oh, that's the worst, brother. That is the worst, my boy. Those new updates, everything else, sometimes some wheels, man, they just don't get that driver update right away, and obviously messes with some of the settings and everything else, so you got to kind of go through everything, trying to get that wheel fixed back up, and that's a tough one, brother. That's a tough one. That you never like to see that. And we've seen drivers run into those issues before, and it can take a long time to either, one, get a hold of it and try to get the hang of the new wheel settings themselves, or try to figure out how to get them back to where they were. And we've seen drivers have months where they have just not been able to find the right settings to get that wheel to work the way it used to, and it takes them a while, and it could be a struggle for you. Hopefully you figure it out very, very soon. Hopefully get that wheel figured back out and right back into the action here as the warm-up session has come to a close, and that means we will get ready for our green flag, our A main feature event about to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. If you guys are just tuning in and you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that thumbs up, hit that share, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to go through our field here. As qualifying on the pole position is the 18 ride. It's the Bulletproof Motorsports JP Designs number 18 ride. That is the coach. It is Kyle Surratt who starts in the pole position here this evening. To his outside will be the 87 of Daniel Elkins, starting there in third. right behind him is that Tommy Gun Customs 2020 ride. It is Jeremy Sexton starting there in third. Starting back in fourth, it is Tyson Pankow and his Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies 91 machine starting there in that fourth position. Jordan Casey and his Free Speed Cocky Floyd Consulting 42 ride will start there in fifth. To his outside in the Sexton Paint and Body Doghouse Racing in number 2020 ride, that is the beautiful machine of Philip Sexton. And then we see the 57 ride of Jim Revis starting there in seventh in his DWR iRacing iFlag number 57 ride. So Revis will start there in position number 7. To his outside in the Cocky Floyd Consulting number 4 machine, that is Seth Castle starting there in 8th. Starting back in the 9th position in the 28 ride, that is the iRacing machine of Cody McDonald. To his outside in the 20 ride, that is the DWR JRE machine, the Putty Graphics ride, that is the 20 of Chad Puderbo. Starting in the 11th position in the 11 ride, it's Kyle Moyer. To his outside in the P61, it's Josh Peacock. And then we see Jackie Whaley in the 720, Jeremy Akins, Marcos Pace, Chris Hill, Anthony Thompson, James Beavers, Jeremy Vaughn, Derek Rice, rounding out our top 20 on the racetrack. Kevin Bowley, Jonathan Wiley, Tyler Jackson, Jesse Main, bringing up the rear of the field here as it looks like 24 drivers will take the green flag here this evening. So 24 drivers ready to duke it out as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League as the Wednesday night street fights are back underway. As down the back straightaway looked like everyone somehow or another were able to keep it pointed the right direction, and our race leaders going to go door to door back down across the line, and it's Elkins in that Cocky Floyd Consulting 87 ride who will lead lap number 1. Hugging those infield tires, that is the 42 machine of Jordan Casey. Casey now works himself up and into position number 3 here on the racetrack, making his way around not only Jeremy Sexton but keeping Philip Sexton back there at bay as now the Sextons round out our top 5. Tyson Pankow there in 6 as Seth Castle down to his inside as here comes Chad Puderbo, Josh Peacock, and Jackie Whaley all right there rounding out our top 10. Jeremy Akins back there in 11th as Jim Revis rounding out our top 12 here. Unfortunately for Revis, not the start that he wanted, fell back 5 positions and now sits back in that 12th position. What's good, Bionic Man coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube. How are you, Bionic Man, coming in, showing the love here in this one is Dave Morgan, Jeremy Vaughn, Joseph Viv, all coming in with the thumbs up over there on Facebook. Dave says, let's go Sextons, cheering on the Sextons here this evening as right now both the Sextons, Jeremy and Phillip, up inside the top 5, battling strong here this evening. Is Anthony Thompson back here trying to hang on to position number 13. He's 3 wide there, down through 4 and out across the start-finish line here as you do see Kyle Moyer down to his inside. Here comes Marcos Pace, still working that inside groove. They make a little contact up into the outside fence. Goes that number 31 of Anthony Thompson. Luckily enough, Thompson able to catch that car, keep it pointing the right direction. Hopefully not too much damage there for that 31 machine as he's got Jeremy Vaughn, Jesse Main, Chris Hill, Tyler Jackson back there behind him as T-Jack elected to go to the rear of the field here this evening. As Bionic Man also coming in, showing the love over on Facebook as well, showing the love on all the channels here this evening. I appreciate that, brother, showing the love there on FB as well with that like on the stream and the car going fast emotes as well. We appreciate that, showing the love here this evening, and some absolutely amazing racing action out there on the racetrack, man. These guys putting on a show for us early on. Everyone doing a great job keeping their cars pointing the right direction, out of trouble as you do see Kevin Bowley, Derek Rice, James Beavers rounding out our top 23. Jonathan Wiley has already taken his UFO ride off of the racetrack here. That's a heartbreaker there for Jonathan as he ended up running into some issues here early in this race. Let's take a look back as he's trying to get the hang of this UFO ride. Unfortunately, looks like it is not treating him well. Then he ends up getting in there a little too deep, spinning those tires, having to get the hang of it. Unfortunately, hits one of those infield tractor tires. They unfortunately do not move, ends up with some heavy front end damage and has to take that car down to the infield and off of the speedway. Heartbreaker there for Jonathan, looking to have a solid run here this evening. Not the spot you want to be, is out in front and making the move back out in front it's Kyle Surratt who takes the race lead back away from Daniel Elkins. Elkins will stay there in position. Number 2 is Jordan Casey right there in tow, and then both the Sextons back there in 4th and 5th. Then we see Tyson Pankhouse, Seth Castle, Josh Peacock, Jackie Whaley, and Chad Peterbone now rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Jim Rivas there in position number 11 with Kyle Moyer back there in 12th. Marcos Pace there in position number 13 with Cody McDonald and Anthony Thompson rounding out our top 15 here on the racetrack. But it's all Kyle Surratt as the coach out in front and looking to try to pick up the checkered flag here in this one as the JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 18 machine out in front trying to hold off Daniel Elkins, Jordan Casey, both the Sextons in the rest of the field. As he hangs on to the race lead, heads down through corner number 1, nice and easy, down and out of corner number 2, looking to try to keep that race lead, trying to keep that momentum up, and trying to keep these two back there at bay, as right now they're just waiting for a mistake, waiting for an opening. They're trying to jump up and make a move here throughout this race. Is down across the line. They will click off lap number 15. We still got 50 laps of racing action here this evening. So still a lot of laps, still a lot of time to try to navigate your way and try to find your way up to the front of the field to try and pick up the checkered flag here this evening. And that's probably what a lot of these drivers are trying to do right now, potentially trying to play that bit of a strategy game, knowing that our race leaders and some of these drivers that are up throughout the top 10 have been going a little harder here in the opening stint. They've been really working those tires, building up a lot of heat, potentially wearing them out a little quicker than drivers deeper in the back, and that's exactly what they may have been looking for. As there is our first caution flag of the day. So our first yellow flag will be displayed here as we'll take a look back. Looks like Marco's Pace going to run into some issues here. Marco's trying to wear his way around the 201 right here. This is the 201 machine. Up on the high side, but then, he ends up clipping an infield tractor tire there himself, and gets another one right there as well. Watch that 47 ride, the blue and pink black ride down low here. He's going to send it down into corner number 1, looking for a big run here as he's got Jeremy Vaughn and Jesse Main there to his outside. Unfortunately, trying to get everything he can down low, just cuts that track a little too sharp, ends up into one of those infield tractor tires, then jumps up, bounces off Jeremy Vaughn. Hopefully not too much damage there for Vaughn, and then all of a sudden Chris Hill nowhere to go as this 47 virtually parked right in front of him. Heavy front end contact there for the 5H ride, and then you see Marco's Pace unfortunately get into another one of those infield tractor tires. Heavy front end damage. Stop there on the racetrack, and that will throw out our first caution flag of the day. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Marcos. Take a look and see what he can see here from the cockpit. As sends it deep down low here, looking at trying to hug this good Bader down low, and just it's too close right there to that tractor tire, and then, oh man, couple big hits right there. Big hit for the 8-ride, big hit for the 5H machine of Chris Hill and Jeremy Vaughn, as both those drivers did not want to get collected. As here we go, back to green flag racing, and we are duking it out here once again at Lucas Oil Speedway. 3, 4 wide, back there deeper through the field, as each and every one of these drivers try to race their way to the front of the pack as the caution flag will come back out. So cautions breeding cautions here at Lucas Oil Speedway as the next caution flag will be displayed. Looks like Kevin Boley in the 30 ride going to run into some problems here. So Boley a little deeper in the pack, trying to work his Tommy Gun Customs number 30 ride up towards the front of the field. Ends up getting into the back end of Tyler Jackson right there, as he does get a piece of T-Jack. Pretty good solid front end damage there for him. And I do believe that is what's going to bring out that caution flag right there. Just the car somewhat stopped, but sideways there on the racetrack. And unfortunately for Tyler Jackson, some pretty serious rear end damage right there as well. And I think that kind of starts a little farther forward as you see T-Jack starting to send it into the corner. If we watch the 7 ride of Jeremy Akins, Jeremy Akins is going to be the driver that we're going to really want to take a look at right here. If we can find where he is on the speedway. There's Chris Hill, there's Jeremy Akins. All right, if you watch Akins, he's trying to get checked up for the issues in front of him. See the 31 ride kind of bent out of shape there, kind of getting bounced around. He kind of rolls out of the throttle. Chris Hill then has to get onto the biters. So doesn't Tyler Jackson. Unfortunately, that memo just does not get put back to the number 30 ride here. Kevin Boley, and unfortunately Boley just drives in there, gets a piece of T-Jack, gets him bent out of shape, and as they're all stacking up, he goes around. Caution flag does come back out. Yeah, I mean, you wake up every day at 5 o'clock to go to work, Tim, it happens, brother. It happens. As here we go, getting ready to go back to battle. As out in front, it's the 87 ride. It is Daniel Elkins who leads this race. Is down through corner number 1 and out of 2, looking to try to open up that lead between himself and Kyle Surratt. Surratt right there in position number 2. As Jeremy Sexton back there in 3rd, and there you see Jordan Casey. Casey unfortunately falling back now into that 4th position. We'll have to try to see if he can mount another challenge to try to get back around that 2020 ride as Jeremy Sexton trying to run away from him, trying to keep him back there at bay. His Cocky Floyd Consulting teammates duking it out here for that 3rd position on the racetrack. As Tyson Pankow now up inside the top 5 here himself as the 20 ride of Philip Sexton slides back to 6. Here comes Josh Peacock, Seth Castle, Chad Peterbow, and that 720 ride of Jackie Whaley's. Whaley there in that 10th position trying to get his CR Sim Products, the iRacing iFlag DWR Dirt Panda 720 ride up and through the top 10 here, trying to race his way up to the front of the field. Has Kyle Moyer right there behind him. Anthony Thompson back there in position number 12. Jim Rivas there in 13th. Unfortunately for Jim, falling back 6 positions early in this race, and Cody McDonald as well, falling back 5 spots here in this first opening 22 laps of this feature event. As Daniel Elkins out in front, though, a lot of these drivers probably trying to play some different strategies out there on the racetrack, potentially trying to save those tires, maybe trying to wait patiently for their time to strike later in this race. We'll really have to keep an eye out, as we did see Tyler Jackson, usually one of the quickest guys out there on the racetrack. He started at the back of the pack, and he has not really worked himself too far forward here. He's just been kind of taking it easy, rolling that inside lane, rolling the bottom here, trying to keep this car fairly straight, not wanting to burn these tires up, and we may see this 8 ride try to storm up through the field later in this race, especially if he can catch a late race caution flag. May really bring this 8 ride to life here this evening. So we'll have to keep an eye on T-Jack and see if he tries to slide that DWR ride up and through the field, as you do see Jeremy Sexton. Sexton does make that move, jumps up around Kyle Surratt, as Surratt slides back now into that 3rd position and now into the clutches of that 42 ride, as here comes Jordan Casey's Casey right there, trying to make that move, trying to figure out a way to jump up into position number 3. He would love to make this a 1-2-3 run right now for the Cocky Floyd Consulting crew, as he tries to get around that Bulletproof Motorsports ride of Kyle Surratt. But he's also got Tyson Pankow right there behind him. If Pankow decides to try to jump up into this battle, potentially maybe he can try to slide his way up towards the front here as well. As you can see, Pankow running completely different line than a lot of these drivers up at the front of the pack here. He's using that extreme high side, especially down through 1 and 2, and he's running a little higher through 3 and 4 than a lot of these other drivers in front of him. Now, I don't know if that's going to help him, if that's going to hurt him, as he's now trying to move around and search around the racetrack, trying to find that extra little bit of speed, trying to find those runs. And you see Jordan Casey then try that outside lane as well. He's doing the exact same thing. You're starting to move around, starting to try to find a different lane out there on the racetrack to try and navigate your way to the front of the field, and he has really sent it up there on that high side lane, trying to find the run that he is looking for to try to get to the outside here, or try to get that run to try to slide job that 18 machine of Kyle Surratt. As my boy Nelson Johns, what's good, Nelson? Nelson coming in with that like on the stream, and Mama Bear Susie Dickinson, Mama Bear coming in, showing the love here with that heart reaction, as she says, hello my boy Aaron, hello Mama Bear, how are you? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a lovely day, a wonderful Wednesday here today, as man, some great racing out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately, no Brycey Bear here this evening. As what's Caboose? What's good, Caboose? Caboose says, what's up over there on YouTube? What's up? How are you, Caboose? How you doing this evening? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day, as Daniel Elkins out in front, continuing to lead this race. Jeremy Sexton there in position number 2. Kyle Surratt back in 3rd with Jordan Casey and Tyson Pankow rounding out our top 5, but Pankow now trying to hang on to that 5th position as Philip Sexton continuing to work down to his inside. Philip looking to try to move up into position number 5 here once again, trying to join his Cocky Floyd Consulting teammates up here at the front of the field, and so is it Seth Castle in that 4 machine. And then we see Josh Peacock there in 8th, Chad Puderbo back in 9th, and then we see Jackie Whaley, Anthony Thompson, Kyle Moyer, Jim Rivas there in 13th, Cody McDonald back in 14th with Jesse Main there in the 15th position. T-Jack Tyler Jackson back here in position number 16. T-Jack still just trying to take it easy here, still running fairly slower lap times than most of these other drivers, just trying to take it easy, trying to save these tires for late in this race, banking on that late race caution flag. I'm not sure if he's going to catch it as we only got 30 laps left to go here in this feature event. As Elkins out in front and Sexton there in 2nd, and then we see Surratt still trying to hold on to position number 3 here as the coach rolls there in that 3rd position. We'll see if Jordan Casey can mount a challenge and try to jump up there and take that 3rd spot away from Surratt here this evening. And some great racing action. We take a look a little deeper through the field. Back in that 17th position, you do see the DWR number 7 ride. That is Jeremy Aikens. Aikens there in that 17th position with Marco's pace down to his inside is that Tommy Gun Customs Cocky Floyd Consulting 47 ride. One of those drivers that got collected in that first caution flag of the day, and unfortunately for the 47, still trying to rebound from that. Same with Chris Hill in his number 5H ride. Jeremy Vaughn also got some damage out of that first yellow flag where the 47 got a piece of those infield tractor tires. Unfortunately bounced off the track, off the 8 ride, then right in front of Chris Hill. And for those drivers, some pretty serious damage early on in this feature event. Derek Rice in the 357 ride rolls there in 21st with Kevin Bowley in the 37 of James Beaver duking it out back here for that 22nd and 23rd position. Jonathan Wiley unfortunately only made it about 2 1/3 laps here this evening before he had to unfortunately take that car down into the infield and off of the racetrack. And unfortunately Jonathan has now rejoined the field here, has not gotten back into the racing action here this evening. So heartbreaker there for him, as out in front it is still this 87 machine. It's Daniel Elkins out in front looking to try to pick up a big checkered flag here this evening, as right now out of the top 7 drivers on the racetrack, our top 7 drivers out there on the Speedway, no one is below a 5,000 I rating in our top 7 right now. That's just showing you how strong and how talented these drivers are. Top 7, no one below 5,000 I rating. We have one driver around the 6,000 I rating, another one closer to about 7,000 I rating. Daniel Elkins here himself, he's about a 6,500, and right behind him with Jeremy Sexton running about an 8,000 I rating out there on the racetrack. So combined between these drivers, probably about a 6,300 I rating between our top 7 drivers out there on the racetrack. Just showing you how strong and how good the racing action is here at the Dirt Warrior Racing League here this evening. As what in the world? Justin Mother Fluffin Johnson, what are we talking about? Justin Johnson coming in, setting it off with the big D of the day, the 500-star donation. That is absolutely insane, brother. 500 mother fluffin' stars. What are we even talking about? We are pinning that one. That is absolutely insane, brother. We can't thank you enough showing the big love here this evening and showing the support here on the channel with the 500-star dono there on Facebook. Man, that is too generous of you, brother. Too mother fluffin' generous. Says Nelson John says, let's go, Revis. Teach them boys wisdom over speed, he says. As Justin also says, yo, Beast, yo, Justin, brother. We appreciate that once again, brother. The 500-star dono, absolutely crazy, my boy. It's Hyper Shift Racing League. What's good, Hyper Shift? Hyper Shift coming in, showing the love as well. Dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast. Dropping the love here this evening as well. We appreciate that. Smashing that like button over there on the FB stream. As out in front, Elkins hanging on to the race lead here. Jeremy Sexton, though, not letting him run away with it. And Kyle Surratt keeping them honest here as the coach rolls right there in position number 3. They've started to open up a bit of a gap between themselves and Jordan Casey. Is Casey about a 7/10 of a second back there behind Kyle Surratt, about 1.5 seconds behind our race leader is Philip Sexton there behind him. Now running out our top 5 is Pankow, slides back to 6. Seth Castle there in 7th, Josh Peacock back in 8th, and then we see Chad Peterbow, Jackie Whaley, our top 10. We see the number 31 ride of Anthony Thompson there in 11th. Kyle Moyer back there in 12th. Jim Rivas back there in 13th with Cody McDonald there in 14th. Jesse Main riding out our top 15. Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, still back here in the 16th position. Still not rolling forward here. So I'm not sure what's going on here with Tyler Jackson. I don't know if he's still trying to play that tire game. Maybe that contact from earlier into that rear end is affecting that car, or maybe it's just something else. Maybe he's just off tonight. Maybe he missed the setup. Maybe something went wrong here with his setup over the last update here. And for Tyler Jackson, he's still back here battling just outside our top 15, as we did see some issues for Jesse Main. No caution flag on the racetrack, but let's take a look here at that Main Racing 201 ride as he rolls down the front straightaway. Looks to send it into corner number 1. Goes to the high side. Unfortunately, looks like he just gets up off the racetrack and takes that car right down pit side. So a heartbreaker there for the 201 machine as he leaves the racing surface here. And now we score back in the 21st position. We saw James Beavers also take his ride off of the racetrack here today as well. As here we go. The battle at the front starting to tighten up once again here. As Justin Johnson is out of town at work. Maybe one day I'll make it back. Laugh out loud. Justin, brother, we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack, my boy. We can't wait for that day, and hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully maybe next Wednesday we'll see you back out here duking it out with these guys, or if we get a Friday open, maybe we'll do the Friday series or Monday series and allow us to give you guys another day to try to put on a show for us and get you back out there on the racetrack. Is the battle here at the front, it has commenced. It's on like Donkey Kong as we're in our closing 10 laps of racing action here this evening. Only 9 laps left to go here in this race already. These drivers clicking the laps off in a quick hurry, and right now, oh, contact! Look out, Elkins! Look out, Surratt! Is Surratt gonna take the race lead back away? Oh, baby! Jeremy Sexton almost took out the 87 ride. He was surely about to go around until Kyle Surratt sent it in down low. Jumped up, took that race lead away, and with his car, kind of straightened out that 87 ride, kept Elkins pointing in the right direction. No caution flag. We keep it clean and green, but now Kyle Surratt has control of this race. And over the next 7 laps, gonna have to try and keep these drivers back there at bay as Daniel Elkins, Jeremy Sexton, Jordan Casey, Philip Sexton, our top 5, looking to try to track down Kyle Surratt, looking to try to take over position number 1 here this evening. As Seth Castle and Tyson Pankow right there battling it out for that 6th position. Slowly but surely, Josh Peacock trying to battle his way into that fight as his JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 61 ride rolls there in the 8th position. Chad Peterbow trying to hold on to position number 9 as Jackie Whaley right there behind him, but out in front, it's Kyle Surratt. Surratt, so far, man, has looked very strong. He has looked very strong here all evening long. He led laps early in this race. He battled with that 87 ride, fell back to 3rd there for a little bit, but now has some lap traffic in front of him, but he's starting to open up a little bit of a gap here between himself and Elkins. And this time down through corner number 3, nice and easy out of corner number 4, we will see 3 laps left to go here for the coach. So Kyle Surratt looking to try to run away with this one. Unfortunately for a couple of drivers, maybe trying to play that tire strategy game like Tyler Jackson, still stuck back here in that 15th position. Definitely not a spot that T-Jack wants to be here this evening. Still banking on that late race caution flag, but down across the line. Only 2 more laps left to go. So 2 more laps left here from Lucas. Oh my gosh, I got a frog in the throat here. As only a lap and a half left here from Lucas Oil Speedway, down through corner 3 and out of 4. We will see that white flag fly one more time around here for Kyle Surratt. As Surratt rounds corner number 1 and 2 for the final time here this evening. Will take us down the back straightaway into corner number 3. One more shot for Elkins. He can't get there. Surratt out of 4 will pick up the checkered flag in the victory here in the Wednesday night street fights from Lucas Oil Speedway. It is the JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 18 of Kyle Surratt, who picks up the checkered flag here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the 18 machine of Kyle Surratt this afternoon. Daniel Elkins, a valiant effort there in second, and Jeremy Sexton rounding out our top 3. What a run, what a drive, what a finish there is Surratt. Right place, right time, able to make that move, dip down to the inside, and not only pass back second, but also taking that race lead down through 3 and 4 as Elkins and Jeremy Sexton make some contact, and he was right there in the right place here this evening. As Surratt, Elkins, Sexton are top 3. Philip Sexton able to steal position number 4 away from Jordan Casey, with Seth Castle, Tyson Pankow, Josh Peacock, Chad Peterbow, and Jackie Whaley rounding out our top 10 here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the coach as Kyle Surratt picks up the checker flag and pulls his ride up and into the Lucas Oil Speedway victory lane, and we'll get ready to pull him in the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews here this evening. Post-race interviews coming up next as here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our race winner, Kyle Surratt. Hey, Kyle, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. There to copy?
Yeah, man.
Kyle, brother, what a run, what a drive for you here in this one as you are able to not only win this pole position here this evening, early on battling with Daniel Elkins. He leads the first few laps. You take that race lead back away from him, and then you hold on to it there for a little while. Then we get a couple caution flags. They were able to use that restart to jump in front of you, take that race lead away, and you slide back there into that third position. And then slowly but surely as we get that next long green flag run all the way down to the checkered flag, you're right there making your move, trying to find your way back around Jeremy Sexton, and then him and Elkins make some contact to the outside. You're able to squeeze down low, just getting by, even straightening out the 87 of Elkins and keeping yourself from seeing another caution out there on the speedway, and able to just jump back out in front and hold all these guys back there at bay as you pull yourself back up and into the Lucas Oil Speedway victory lane. Man, take us back through this race from your point of view here as you're able to pull that car up and into victory lane here this evening.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty good race. I really don't like this place all that much. I never really ran that well here, and I hit the lap of my life in qualifying. I was pretty surprised about that, and I figured that I was going to go backwards after they dropped the green flag, and then track kind of went one lane around the bottom there for a little bit, and I was having to bend the car more than I felt like I wanted to keep it on the bottom, so I started washing up a little bit, and then Elkins got by, and then we had that one restart right after a green, and it gave him the lead. And then Sexton got by shortly after that, and after he went by, I got hit in the rear by Casey, and it made me fall back a little bit, and I was like, well, ain't really no sense in trying to run them back down. I'm just going to save tires for a little bit for the end of the race. And about 10 laps to go, man, it seemed like they had a parachute out, so I seen that Sexton was pressuring him, and I was trying the top, the bottom, the middle, slider line, reverse slider, you name it, trying to get around on Sexton, and I seen how he was running him, so I was like, well, they're probably going to make contact eventually, because that's, that was the only way you're going to win a race. You weren't just going to pass somebody clean, so I just kind of waited back there, and then I seen him start to spin him, so I was like, yep, here we go, and I tried to straighten him up on the way by, not to avoid a caution, but because I didn't want to break my own momentum, and after that I was able to drive away.
Absolutely. Able to drive away there in those closing laps. Elkins trying to get back to your rear bumper, trying to put that battle to your, back end here. And unfortunately for him, he just continued to slide farther and farther back away from you as you were able to open up a 0.6 of a second lead between yourself and that 87 ride and pull yourself up here into the Lucas Oil Speedway victory lane, man. And there's some tough competition. There's a lot of fast cars back there behind you. Our top 7, no one below a 5,000 I rating through the top 7 here this evening, just showing you how strong this field is. And for you to be able to jump up there and put on heck of a show and pick up this checkered flag is going to feel very, very good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't race every night or anything. Just recently got back into the street stocks a couple months back, and took about a year and a half off before that. So to kind of, call it riding a bike or whatever, but I think it's the changes that they've made to the street stock, the way they drive now, suits my driving style a lot more. I like it when it gets slick, and it used to be that when it got slick, you just roll into the corner and then you end up matting it, on your way out of the corner, and you can't do that anymore. And I kind of feel like that's more the way it's supposed to be. So um, I really like that, and I work a lot, so I can't be racing every night, but not to do get to race, it's good to be competitive. It makes it fun.
Absolutely, definitely makes it fun, especially when you're able to jump out there and show these young whippersnappers how to get it done and pull yourself up here into victory lane. Kyle, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive here this evening?
All the guys at Bulletproof Motorsports for continuing to put up with me, and my wife for letting me do it. 09 Laser Engraving. You guys for putting on a broadcast, and Jim and everybody at DWR for putting on something for us to race every night.
Absolutely. Well, Kyle, heck of a run, heck of a drive here this evening, showing these guys why you're nicknamed the coach out there as you just took them all to school here this evening. Kyle, congrats on the checkered flag, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday and potentially right back up here in Victory Lane. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Kyle Surratt, as Kyle picks up the checker flag here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the coach here this evening. It's not Joe Gibbs out there, but he's winning like he is Joe Gibbs and parking that 18 right up and into victory lane. And we'll get ready now to pull in one of those drivers he was battling with all evening long, the 87 right of Daniel Elkins. Now, I do believe Daniel Elkins is either... I think it's his dad's name, so it's actually Tucker Elkins here. Let's see if we can get Tucker up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Tucker, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Tucker, all right. Do you go by Tucker or Daniel?
It'd be Tucker.
Tucker, okay, perfect. I figured that was maybe potentially your dad's name once I saw you hop into the Discord here.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, Tucker, man, heck of a run, heck of a drive here this evening, man, as you were able to obviously lead quite a few laps here, duke it out there early on with Kyle Surratt, kind of fall back, wait patiently for a couple of those restarts, and then you take advantage of it on the one restart, you take that race lead back away, and then you're able to hold on to it there for a long time, and then all of a sudden, Surratt and Jeremy Sexton start pushing your back bumper, and then contact there through 3 and 4, and Surratt able to dive down low and pass both you and Jeremy and take that race lead back away late in this race. Now, it sucks that you gave up that race lead to him, but at the same point in time, as he was down low, you were probably going to spin out right there with the 2020 ride on your back bumper, and you bounced off his right rear quarter panel, points you back in the right direction, and allows you to hang on to position number 2 here tonight. So a little bit of a blessing and a curse down there through that contact, but man, take us back through this race and kind of what's going through your mind there during that contact, and what's going through your mind here throughout this race, battling with all these talented drivers.
Yeah, I knew off the initial start, it's just going to be, I knew I had to roll the bottom pretty well there, and my plan was to try to get to the lead early and just pick my pace and, lead it from as many as I could, go and win it, but wasn't the case. Surratt, he put up a really good fight early, and I just, like that restart you were talking about, he just... I guess he had a tough restart on him there, and I just took advantage and got to hop out in front there, and led some good laps, and my headset ended up dying, so I couldn't really hear what I was doing. So it allowed them guys to kind of stay with me. I feel like if it would have been a little bit of a different story if I could have had a charged headset and hear what I was doing. But yeah, I mean, Sexton just got into my left rear, and yeah, it's just racing stuff. So I ain't too mad about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good hard racing there late in the race. Obviously, battling for the race lead. It's to be expected to get that shot or two as someone's trying to get around you, trying to figure out a way to get through you there. And obviously, this racetrack, once it gets this slick, it's either right up against the outside fence or trying to roll through that slick stuff. And sometimes it kind of gets that one lane where you almost need to do that bump and run to open up the door to allow yourself to maybe make that pass or throw that slide job through one of these corner entries as Jeremy was trying to open up the door there. Tough break for him, tough break for yourself with the contact, but good break there for Kyle as he's able to jump up, take that race lead, and then start to pull away from you there. Obviously, maybe a little bit better tire there on that 18 ride later on as obviously maybe the contact or something maybe jostled something loose there underneath the hood of that 87 ride, but you just kind of fell back there a couple car lengths late in this race. Take us back through that.
Yeah, I had a little left front damage as well. Like I said, having to roll the bottom early, I got a little too low at one point, and I just, I caught a tire, and I don't think that really was the problem, but I mean, I do think I had a little less tire than everybody else, but you'll have that, just being out there and trying to pull away from everybody and grab that win.
Absolutely. Well, Dan Tucker, you're able to hang on and pull yourself up here into the broadcast booth for a solid second place finish here this evening. Brother, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening at Lucas Oil Speedway?
Yeah, I like to thank everybody over at Cocky Floyd Consulting. JC Floyd, he's the best to do it, man. He coaches me through a lot of these street stock races and helps me out a lot, and allows me to be in these positions. Him and Ethan and all them back in that Discord. And obviously, free my boy Ethan and Knox and JC. They locked up right now, so.
Well, hopefully they get freed here shortly and back out there on the racetrack for more battles here in either these street stocks or any of those other series. But Tucker, great run, great drive here this evening, brother, and hopefully we'll see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday for our next edition of the Wednesday night street fights, and hopefully maybe charge up headset, maybe one spot better, and up in victory lane yourself.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Tucker Elkins as Tucker comes home there in position number 2 here this evening. Great run, great drive there from Mr. Elkins here this evening as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher, Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy coming home here in position number 3. Hey, Jeremy, it's Aaron up here in the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, brother, another solid run, another great race, and man, you got to be getting pretty used to these interviews. You've been having yourself a great run, obviously picking up some wins, having some solid performances, and making many trips up here into the broadcast booth here on these Wednesday night street fight races over the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have a good run, fairly consistent. Really owe it all to JC Floyd. He's put us on some settings and stuff that's made a tremendous difference as far as making smooth, consistent laps, lap after lap, the whole race, and saving tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, take us back through the start of this race here. Was that a little bit of tire savings early on as you kind of fell back a few spots there? Obviously, Jordan Casey got around you, and you had some battles there with Tyson Pankow and Philip Sexton, and then slowly but surely you raced your way up into P2, getting around Surratt, and then there you are late in this race trying to figure out a way to get around Tucker Elkins, trying to make a pass on him, and all of a sudden you get a little piece of him there, obviously contact, and it kind of just opens up the door there for Surratt to get around you and Elkins late in this race, man. Take us back through what's kind of going through your mind.
Yeah, early, I just really wanted to just maintain a position. It didn't matter if it was third, fifth, seventh, whatever, and just ride because I wasn't sure with the update how tires would be. So when it ended up, I think I was fourth, Philip was fifth. I told him that I was not trying to push super hard, and I nearly messed us up a couple times about to clip the tires in one. So I started moving up a lane, and we had that weird restart, and I was able to get a run on the outside and figure it was pretty good. So I got by Surratt. And then it was just a matter of waiting, trying to save for a minute. And about 20 to go, when it announced 20 laps to go, I tried to start pushing, and I knew I was faster than Tucker by a good bit at that point. But I didn't want to do anything crazy because he's a cocky Floyd driver, and the last thing I wanted to do is mess either one of us up, and ended up messing him up anyways. And I really hate that. My apologies to him for that. I didn't want to throw a crazy slider on him or anything like that. I wanted to race it out, even if I got second, just to race. And that just allowed Surratt to catch up to us. And by me tapping Tucker, it allowed Kyle, he was already to my inside, to capitalize on it and get the win ultimately.
Obviously, benefactor of that contact there goes to our race winner, Kyle Surratt. But luckily enough, as Tucker was about to go around right there, and luckily enough, Surratt was there. He was able to bounce off the 18 rod, keep himself pointing in the right direction. So no late race yellow flag, where for certain if Elkins would have went around, obviously, you know, he probably would have taken that EOL for causing the yellow, and then that would have sent both of you back there towards the rear of the field. So luckily enough, you were able to hang on and keep them both pointing in the right direction, and you're able to come home here with a solid third place run again this evening. So at least there's a silver lining there at the end of the day for the contact, and another trip up here into the broadcast booth. Brother, who would you like to thank for the great run here this evening?
First and foremost, God. Then all my guys that we race with every day. My son Jacob Phillips, my brother, Seth Castle, JC, all the guys at Cocky Floyd, Marco's Pace, Derek Rice is with us every single day, putting in laps. I know I'm missing people, and apologize ahead of time. My buddy Dave for always watching the broadcast. Just everybody that makes this deal go round, DWR for putting these races on. It's really fun. You for the broadcast, obviously. And like I say, once again, I feel terrible for getting into Tucker. I'd rather finish last than to mess a man's race up.
Yeah, definitely tough contact there, tough break. Daniel was all right with it, though. He knew it was late in the race, and obviously battling there for the race lead. Contact is bound to happen there, and he's just happy to come home with that beautiful second-place run that he had here this evening, as I'm sure we'll see, hopefully, both of you guys back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday and battling again for another race win, and maybe this time it'll work out for either yourself or Tucker, and see one of you guys up here again into the broadcast booth next Wednesday.
Definitely, man. It makes it fun when all these good guys pop in here and race. It really makes it interesting.
It definitely does. Spices things up that much more out there on the racetrack, and hopefully we'll see the same group and maybe some more added into the field next Wednesday to make things even tougher for you.
Yes, sir. And also like to thank Pratt with Tommy Gun for always keeping my cars looking good and taking care of them anytime I need something done.
Beauty. Jeremy, enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Jeremy Sexton. As Sexton comes home in position number 3 here this evening. Heck of a run, heck of a drive here this afternoon, as these drivers put on a great race, great show for us, as each and every one of them duking it out, battling out there, rubbing elbows, battling 2 wide, 3 wide, and fighting for this race win right down to the checkered flag here this evening. Unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here tonight, as the racing action has come to a close here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights here from Lucas Oil Speedway, with Kyle Surratt picking up the checkered flag. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and show the love here throughout the evening, as we'll get ready to hop back into the booth tomorrow night for some more racing action, as our Hypershift Racing League will go to battle. We'll see these guys, not these drivers themselves, but a bunch of other drivers all battling, duking it out, and having fun tomorrow evening as well. And hopefully we'll see you guys back up in the grandstands watching and cheering those guys on. As Jeremy, yeah, brother, hopefully those storms get better for you, brother. Hopefully they get better for you. Hopefully you don't have to worry too much about that connection and stuff. And yeah, we did see a blinking out there. I figured it was, you know, obviously something like that, storms or just internet for some reason not wanting to work right for you, brother. And that's a heartbreaker. It's always, you never want to have those problems. You never want to have those issues, man. And hopefully next Wednesday or very soon they're cleared up, up, clear skies, and obviously allowing you to not only race in real life, but also race here on the simulator as well. As a great run, great race still from you, brother. Not causing any issues, not making any trouble out there yourself, man. It was classy run, classy run. Done with the thunderstorms, laugh out loud. Yeah, I would be too, my boy. I would be too, brother. Whenever I see a thunderstorm rolling around here, man, I got to broadcast every single night. And, obviously, you know, it takes a lot more for me to do it, so having everything potentially go down or the thunderstorm take out you know, the internet or something like that, man, or the power is always like just lurking in the back of my mind. And every time I hear thunder or something crack off in the background, I'm always like, this is gonna be it. When's it gonna flicker? When's it gonna shut the stream down? And luckily enough, for the most part, we tend to not run into those issues, and knock on wood, we don't have to worry about that anytime soon. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in here this evening, man. Heck of a race, heck of a show. And if you haven't already, make sure, guys, do us a favor. Hit that like button on the stream right now. Hit that thumbs up for us. Hit that subscribe button over there on YouTube. Hit that follow button over on Facebook and Twitch. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today, and turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on Peacemaker Gaming. As we'll see you guys back in here tomorrow evening for some more racing action, some more battling out there on the racetrack, and some more amazing content for everyone to enjoy over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. As we will call it a night there. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love, chat. Woo! What a run. What a race, baby. Oh, gosh, that was a heck of a lot of fun.
Engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel